To preface this video, I want to say that any ideas you have about nothingness, they don't necessarily apply here for at least the duration of until I explain what I mean. Nothingness is just a word, so just put your ideas on it on hold. And I guess I'll begin by explaining why I am so confident that nothingness is the origin of the universe and why it really makes sense. Anyways, so this all relies on causation. And in reality, event A causes event B causes event C. And this can't really generate on its own. It can't generate this way because something has to cause A. I'll explain more about this in a second, but I guess the way I can really easily describe it is that there's a chicken and egg problem involving the Big Bang, involving atoms, involving everything, because this can't cause itself. The Big Bang can't cause itself. So moving on, the source of reality, which is, what I'm talking about, it has no qualities because nothing is causing it to have any qualities. This can be inferred. Anyways, this is just why I call it nothingness. I just call it nothingness if it's uncaused, if it has no qualities. So just remember that I'm not talking about a void, I'm just talking about this specific concept. Anyways, the mechanics of nothingness. Well, it can't be defined as anything at all in particular. So you can't say nothingness is this, nothingness can do that. For all you know, nothingness could be anything at all. And anyways, so now that that's out of the way, that I've explained that, I want to talk about Stephen Wolfram, because I've recently discovered his ideas and everything just makes sense now. Anyways, as you can see here, he's a super genius, so if anything, you should listen to him. Put his words before mine in your mind. And Wolfram has what is called a theory of the universe. Very smart man. If anyone's familiar with the standard model of physics, he has a theory that explains the entire standard model. It explains everything. It's perfect. It relies on very simple logic, so really not much at all needs to be in place for this explanation of the universe to work. Good reason to believe it's true, and it doesn't conflict with any current theories of the universe. It explains a very great deal. There's a little bit of gray area, but it's really doing a great job at explaining it. I'm surprised it's not more popular. Anyways, what it really is it's, I guess, a simple computer simulation, and it exhibits very incredible, what is called emergent phenomena. So the following things that are apparent in our universe were not coded into the system. He didn't tell the system to generate these things, but because it generated all of this from these very, very simple set of rules, it is very unlikely to be false. Anyways, gravity, quantum mechanics, not even the standard model explains these things. Spatial dimensions, Einstein's theories, these are all apparent in this system. Like I said, event A causes event B causes event C. And now let's relate this to nothingness, what I talked about before. So in, I guess, the standard theory of the universe, or just how most people think of it, they don't really look before A. They don't really look at the paradox of causation. To them, it's just the universe exists because the Big Bang. They don't really look before the Big Bang. Anyways, A causes B, A causes C, but in Wolfram's theory, and remember, his theory, there's a very good reason to believe it's true. In his theory, he actually does posit something that comes before A, something that causes all of causation. And what this is an infinite field of randomness. He has a specific name for it. It's, I think, space of all possible rules. And it's a little bit tricky to explain, but I guess just think of it as complete randomness, but a specific type of randomness. Now that you understand both of these concepts, I want to elaborate exactly what is profound about nothingness. So I previously said that because nothing causes it to have a form. It's not a void. I do have a more logical proof of this in my previous video, but it's pretty hard to understand. But the most important aspect about nothingness is it is completely random. That is its true nature. It is infinite and random. And I say this because Remember, there's nothing causing it to be a certain way, therefore there's nothing limiting it. So nothingness can't be described as black, as a void, as devoid of space. Nothingness could be described in infinite dimensions because there's nothing limiting it. Just imagine that, we're in the third dimension right now because something is limiting us to being in the third dimension. Nothingness does not have that. Pure, absolute, uncaused nothingness does not exist in any limited capacity at all. It's infinite. It's unrestrained. There is no restraint on nothingness because restraint is a thing produced by cause and nothing exists prior to cause. Anyways, now, I know that's hard to believe. You probably just think I'm bullshitting you, but let's just connect these two theories. So nothingness, it exists without a cause, and then the space of all possible rules in Wolfram's theory, if you just look at it, yes, it is the cause of causes. It is the thing that makes A cause B and C. So that's one connection. And it is the source of reality. In my theories, and in a lot of people's theories, nothingness is the source of reality. It has to be. And well, infinite, the space of all possible rules, that is also the source of reality. And well, I believe nothingness is capable of unlimited generation. And it's not really a belief, it's just, it has to be. It has to be the source of reality. It has to be unlimited. And, well, infinite real space that has an unlimited amount of, it's a little hard to explain, but just think of it as unlimited randomness. How I think of nothingness and how Wolfram, or really not just how he believes, but how the best description we've ever had of the universe, how it works, is it operates on infinite randomness. And well, where does the infinite randomness come from? It comes from nothingness. There's several reasons for this that I could get back to. For one, infinity can be uncaused by anything, and obviously the source of reality in Wolfram's theory that exists prior to cause. What I'm really trying to say here is that the space of all possible rules in Wolfram's theory is actually a subset of nothingness. That's how it's infinite. That's how it's structured in this specific way. And another thing I want to make clear is that the latter two parts of this are basically provably true. They're extremely hard to deny. The only thing that you need to just take a leap of faith and understand and explore and try to become conscious of is how it all arose from nothingness. But I'm asking a lot here, so I want to break this down into smaller parts. It's very, very much okay and expected if you don't get this, because I didn't either when I first heard it. But just some things I want you to take away from here is that nothingness isn't a void. It isn't what you say it is. I guess saying that it's infinite forms, that's a little complex. It's a little hard to believe, but try to stop thinking of it as a void. Because really, why do you think of nothingness as a void? Because we exist in a reality where if there's nothing there, then we just call it space. We can't see it. We can't feel it. But this isn't how nothingness operates on the absolute level. There's no reason to believe this. And it must be the case that reality arises from nothingness. Because, and don't think of nothingness in any way here when I say this. Just think about my previous slide. Here, I'll pull it up right now. All nothingness is something that is uncaused, therefore it doesn't have any definite qualities. If you think about this for long enough, you will realize that this is how reality arises. Reality arises from something that is uncaused and indistinct. You can learn this on your own time. And the last thing I want you to take away from this is just to research the Wolfram model. It baffles me that this isn't a more prominent issue in physics, in mathematics, and anything, because it really, really deeply explains everything. I love it. You can just go right online to the Wolfram website. I'll put a link in it in the description, but this guy is the smartest person to ever be in science, I would say. I guess that's saying a lot, but definitely one of them. Anyways, yeah, I know not many people are going to get this, but if you get even just a little bit of it, that's very good. especially these three things at the end. If you understand all three things at the end here that have been bulleted, you will fully understand this theory. It'll be as clear as night and day to you. So just research these individually. And, well, that's all I have to teach you. Attempt to teach you. Goodbye. Goodbye.